Review of Home Garden as an Economic Approach. Sayyid Muhammad Maulana Sayyida Afreen, Sulaima Lebi Razmia Begum, and Sayyid Muhammad Maulana Sayyida Hamaya. Abstract. Over the years, there has been a developing enthusiasm to fortify and heighten nearby food creation to relieve the unfriendly impact of worldwide food stuns. The household garden was neglected by macroeconomics over time. Supportable creation and great financial conditions can be accomplished by home planting. Thusly, there is a lot of consideration in the direction of home gardens using a technique toward upgrade family unit foodstuff safety plus money. Despite the importance, the economic contribution is one of the least studied area regarding home gardening. A theoretical approach from all the available published international and national level papers was reviewed regarding home gardens' definitions, attributes, and afterwards gives a worldwide study of their social, financial, and environmental commitments to the host communities. Improving the fitness of humans, enhancing food and dietary security and social value, and gender orientation balance are given as social benefits of home gardening. The valuation shows that producing from the home garden is more beneficial than spending money on food from the market. The cost-benefit analysis is cost-effective when family members are used as laborers. The household members earn more money by the trade of both urban and rural home garden products in most probably developing countries. However, while accentuating numerous advantages, we also feature few limitations like the absence of water accessibility, lack of capital, atmosphere vulnerability, and market disappointment in their development. The review gives consolidated information on the home garden as an economical approach. Even though better selection of harvests and diverse land use designs received cause them to endure and continue with their creation. From this review, the exciting knowledge on the economic importance of home gardening will be concentrated on the youth. 1. Introduction. In creating nations, agriculture remains the foundation of most nations' economies. Poverty is more prevalent in developing countries, and job opportunities are scarce, especially outside the agriculture sector. Eigenbrod and Gruda, 2015. The rapid population growth and slow growth of employment opportunities, especially in the peasant sector, intensify further fragmentation of existing smallholdings, and this leads to low levels of food production, result in malnutrition and undernutrition among people. Suman, 2019. On the other hand, the novel coronavirus 2019, COVID-19, epidemic has recently reached pandemic proportions, limiting people's ability to access food by reducing income and increasing job insecurity. Beltrami, 2020. In light of the above, home gardening has emerged as a viable idea to provide people with enough local food production and income, especially in developing countries. De Bon et al. 2010. The term home garden refers to the management of multi-purpose whole harvest trees, bushes in personal connection with yearly lasting yields, domesticated animals, and occasionally fish, within the mixes of individual houses. Not only that, but also with various contributions to food, feed, fuel, fiber, and pharmaceuticals, and the entire unit being overseen by family work. Kumar and Nair, 2004. Weerahewa et al. 2012. Many people in developing countries are now turning to home gardens as a direct source of income by starting their own businesses. Van Leeuwen et al. 2010. They play an essential ethnic and communal part in rural societies and support households. HHs, in several means, providing food, firewood, construction resources, cooking utensils, and feedstuff for livestock. FAO, 2004. Guru et al. 2012. This review stays to determine the involvement of home gardens to returns of households and the community. The present review has captured only the published and verifiable information at national and international levels. It presents the experiences of homegrown gardens in developing countries including Sri Lanka. The home gardens, just as the logical traits, social, environmental, and economic benefits, cost-benefit analysis in writing are summed up in the accompanying segments. Characteristics of home gardens. Home nurseries show a progression of characteristics that diverse topographical meridian, atmosphere rise zone or culture. Mitchell and Hanstad, 2004. They situate close to the habitation, incorporate different horticultural yields, a high decent variety of plants, predominantly a hot spot for family utilization and once in a while a pay, possess a little territory, utilize a creation framework available to those without or on low pay. Marsh, 1998. Other significant characteristics are dynamism and flexibility. Stepit et al. 2004. Isaguirre and Linners, 2010. Since choices on crop determination, seed or creature feed procurement, gathering, or hazard taking are resolved, most importantly, the family's utilization needs or the weight on its income. Ali, 2005. Galena et al., 2012. Vegetables, fruits, vines, medicinal plants, annual flowering plants, and trees abound in traditional home gardens. Herbs and annuals may be planted around the edges of paths as well. Home gardens can be found in abandoned lots, at the end of dead-end avenues, in unused alleys, or even in a window box in the city. Garden space in villages may be close to the house or in a nearby area. Benefits of home gardening. Home gardens give more advantages to cultivators. It tends to be ordered into social, financial, and environmental advantages. Social benefits. Social advantages respect the immediate commitment of home gardens to the family unit food safety by expanding the approachability, openness, and use of new nourishment items in a continuum that adds vitality and nourishment to the eating routine of the families that own them. Marsh, 1998. Improving fitness of human. Massive allocates of the vegetation in homemade nurseries have certain therapeutic worth and they could be utilized to treat numerous regular medical issues in a lucrative way. Plants are the significant foundation of medicine for human beings and livestock. Home gardens are a key basis for creating in situ preservation of healing vegetation. Rao and Rao, 2006. Enhancing food and dietary security. Home gardens assume a key job by increasing obtainability, ease of access, and use of foodstuff yields from its direct offerings to household food security. The diversity in home gardens is revealed in the species structure of several plant kinds such as food crops, fruits, vegetables, medical and spice plants. Home gardens tangled with the cultivation of mushrooms or beekeeping, small fish ponds, animals, and poultry into this sort of households lead to a universal rise in food intake and the absorption of crucial nutrients and fortifies families through harmless and at times exclusive sources of animal protein derived from milk, eggs, and meat to rural households. Ali, 2005. Serda and Mukul, 2008. Candy and home gardens play a fundamental part by providing small-price food and confirming dietary consumption, with straight access and a firm store owed to the mixture of crops they cover, containing vegetables, fruits, and others. Pushpakumara et al., 2010. Social value and gender orientation balance. Women have done a noteworthy job in food creation and are dynamic members in the home cultivating achievements in different social orders. There is growing evidence that females are more interested in organic food gardening and sustainable gardening than males. Bhatti and Church, 2000. Buckingham, 2005. Reyes Garcia et al., 2010. Over the past few years, particular studies have even advanced procedural approaches to study these gender variances, which could be hard to establish due to the field of gendered garden study look like to be specific to certain nations which have more customary gendered partitions of labor in the family such as Spain, while other outcomes appear to be more common. Reyes Garcia et al., 2010. Environmental benefits. The home garden is a multi-cropping system which is a kind of incorporated farming system owing to crop farming and animal husbandry both are concurrently accomplished in the same land region. The scientific literature informed that the huge amounts of hosted ecosystems, the creation of worthy food, cultural services, pest regulator, nutrient recycling, low soil erosion, and enhanced pollination are additional benefits. Pushpakumara et al., 2010. The higher number of livestock due to home garden supply of raw materials, fodder and leaves, to agricultural land deliver a substantial quantity of manure that could improve soil fertility. Santhosh Kumar and Elchikawa, 2010. Bishaw et al., 2013. Economic benefits. Home gardens produce a fundamental salary for resource economy, improve the day-to-day environments, practical prosperity of families, animate business enterprise and rustic turn of events for the individuals who possess and oversee them. Kumar, 2003. Trin et al., 2003. Pear et al., 2006. Calvet et al., 2012. Family gardens contribute to the economic well-being of households by their products can be vented to make extra income. Nines, 1985. Isaguirre and Linners, 2010. The cultivating exercises can be utilized in the travel industry and the investment funds of the family unit make by devouring its items can be focused for additional family inviting purposes. Marsh, 1998. Mitchell and Hanstad, 2004. Families in mountain regions of Vietnam and southeastern Nigeria had produced over 22% of their money and followed by tree yields, and animals delivered over 60% of family salary through home planting exercises. Okibo, 1990, Trin. Et al., 2003. This implies that products from home gardens expands domestic monetary position, and money returns to purchase food, cloth, etc. This reflection is matched with the study has completed in the home garden of Zimbabwe and Ethiopia. Alfred, 2009. Kabebe and Urgisa, 2011. Conversely, the production is small, leading to fewer inputs and savings, which is tremendously imperative saving for low-income families with restricted access to manufacturing inputs. Dacryodes edulis, a significant monetary plant in southeastern Nigeria, is generally developed by neighborhood landowners, with 51.4% of the formation originating from plants planted in home nurseries. Ayelagbe et al. 1998. The nearness of animal waste improves crop yield and gives cushion support in troublesome cases, which permits the family to leave the emergency by selling the animals. Devendra and Thomas, 2002. Grunert, 2005. Ann, 2008. A survey report from the Dry Place of Africa indicated that nearness of feed tree in the nursery aids increment number of domesticated animals, and decreases animals' rummage cost. Bashir et al. 2006. An expansion in the number of animals prompts the essential inspiration of the ladies who participate in cultivation as to expand their compensation. Although the monetary commitment of vegetable nurseries to the family unit pay is little, it permits ladies to buy things that are explicitly imperative to the improvement of their economic well-being in a general public where men have the dominant position. Women also spend money differently than men by prioritizing their earnings on food, health, and education of their children. Meinzen Dick et al. 2012. The decent variety of salary sources, just as the optional local creation to meet the family unit's resource needs, is fundamental resource in financial security and government assistance. Abib, 2005. The gardens didn't make a significant commitment to food utilization and nourishment. They were contributed to promoting the latest salary and societal position just as their consciousness of developing food propensities in urban territories. Brun et al. 1989. When distinguished the family's commitment from the home gardens to food security at a neediness-stricken country towns in dry zone, Kiriagasweva, Sawalakama, and a center salary town in the wet zone, Pethayagoda, of Sri Lanka. The outcomes demonstrated a family, on a normal, spends 6,179 rupees per equals 3,766 equals and 10,909 rupees per equals every month to buy food from the market, and the market estimations of home garden produce were 1,155 rupees per equals 222 equals and 970 rupees per equals every month, proportional to 16.6%. 0% and 28.8% of the family unit food consumption. Separately, Marambe and Silva, 2012. Numerous ethnobotanical contemplates concentrated on the genuine or likely commitments of customary home gardens to the neighborhood economy and societal turn of events. Kellenbeck and Moss, 2004. The examination on advertising plants somewhere else has indicated that a 10 meters by 20 meters vegetable plot for little homestead families can expand the family salary by 30%. Chada and Oluwak, 2003. One of the key factors in Candian home gardens is a few types of flavor crops, such as cloves, nutmeg, cocoa, coffee, different spices and condiments, and pepper vines. Kumar, 2004. These species are high-worth harvests and give a critical salary to householders. Pereira and Rajapakse, 1991. Lindera et al. 2006. Urban home gardens in Papua New Guinea have the family units recognized to sell home nursery produce in nearby markets and acquire the money that permits them to buy rice that creates a few periods the foodstuff vitality of the vented natural products. Vasi, 1985. City and countryside family units in 3 provinces in Russia found that 2/3 of all families gained certain earnings from agricultural home manufacture, and the market price of home creation surpasses household labor income in rural areas. Though Seith et al. 1998. 54% of households reported marketing home garden products and earning the cash equivalent was 14.8% of the total average monthly income at the Helen Keller International, HKI, pilot home garden project in Bangladesh, HKI, AP, 2003. The income value of home garden production increased from 14% to 25% of average monthly income after taking into account purchased fruits and vegetables. Marsh, 1998. Home gardening families who plant large varieties of fruits and vegetables spend less on food than non-gardening families in the Philippines. Miura et al. 2003. Northeastern Bangladesh and Southwest Bangladesh derived household income from home gardens were on an average 11.8% and 15.9%, respectively. Motior et al. 2005. Homestead gardens are likewise appropriate for asset-helpless circumstances and have a monetary preferred position, for example, low capitals and labor costs, expanded independence, hazard evasion, and even conveyance of labor, and also structure a significant wellspring of money and riches for some Javanese rustic family units. Arnold, 1987. Dury et al. 1996. Though little gardens can meet the necessary work contributions from inside the family, enormous nurseries may have the capability of utilizing outside work and make openings for work in the provincial regions. Sahu et al. 2012. As a result, home gardens offer households several options by which they could fulfill their livelihood purposes, and each household could determine for itself what combination of consumption, trade, and sale of home garden manufacture best fits its livelihood approach. Generally, home gardens mentioned above, Table 1, got positive results with the positive value of NPV, net present value, and also mostly they have shown more than 1 for cost-benefit ratio if the market cost of labor used to have a tendency to the garden did not include from the expenses. Challenges in home gardening and ways to overcome. While there are various advantages of home cultivating for creating nations, the review additionally uncovers the critical limitations for the efficiency and maintainability of home gardens and develops suggestions for promoting them as a suitable and supportable activity. There are some critical limitations for home-based gardening. Hugerbrug and Fresco, 1993. Mitchell and Hanstad, 2004. Sustainability has been characterized by 3 measurements or columns, specifically natural, biological, assurance, social advancement, and financial development. Goodland, 1995. Cates et al. 2001. Nair and Kumar, 2006. Marambe and Silva, 2012. A biologically reasonable framework keeps up creation and utilization levels inside the limits that characteristic asset recovery grants without crumbling the earth. Mangle et al. 1993. As opposed to other agrarian frameworks, mono-trimming, home garden agroforestry frameworks are creating models that join, preferably, the characteristic environmental capacities with financial prosperity of the families that keep them up. However, experimental proof on these perspectives are deficient in Sri Lanka. Pulido et al. 2008. Customary biological information and conventional asset. The board has assumed a vital job in asset maintainability, and the board. Tickton and Johns, 2002. Loss et al. 2003. Drew, 2005. Miller and Nair, 2005. Alongside deviations in conventional ways of life and conditions, customary information on home nurseries is blurring. Gillespie et al. 2004. So it is vital and critical to lead ethnobotanical concentrates on customary administration rehearses in home nurseries, to record conventional information on the home nursery of the executives, and to investigate their logical implications. The role of education is an important factor in improving sustainable agricultural productivity that meets the growing demand for food, ensures efficient, inclusive and resilient food systems, and offers enhanced income opportunities in rural areas. FAO, 2017. 2. Conclusion. In general, the review boosts the consideration and advancement of homegrown gardens as an eco-accommodating feasible farming practice to improve monetary development. The comparative study expresses that home nurseries satisfy societal, environmental, and monetary necessities. Home gardens support family members by upgrading their financial status and improve ladies' strengthening in most developing countries. The cost-benefit analysis is positive for the farmers using their family members as their laborers, thereby excluding labor cost. Outcomes got so far on impacts of home gardens are restricted to primarily advantages and difficulties. Consequently, studies can be extended to investigate the impacts of home nurseries with various natural composts in the future. So that, in future, with the information and thought acquired from this review, more youthful age may center this scope also. Moreover, individuals are less alert about home cultivating and the gap can be diminished with awareness programs. References. Table 2. Key constraints to home gardening. Constrain. Suggestion. Shortage of land. Allocating home garden plots to landless. Lack of water. Low-cost techniques to collect, store and efficiently use rainwater and household wastewaters. Lack of capital. Government and non-government subsidy of home garden inputs. Lack of appropriate plants. Promoting existing local species and local planting stocks. Adverse climate effect. Changing monocrop land use system to mixed agroforestry system. Constraints in marketing. Selling through mobile service and use social media for sale. Interference of wildlife animals. Shelter the fields with well-managed strong fences.